Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Mindy Lepp from Lepp Design. Did they name the company after you, I guess, right?
That is, yep, that's correct.
That's good. So, Mindy, what does Lepp Design do?
So it's Lepp Design.
Lepp. I'm sorry, that was my bad. Lepp, okay.
Pronunciation. So we are a marketing firm with a niche in the building industry. We started out as just a generalized marketing firm about 20 years ago. Our anniversary is coming up in January of 20 years of being in business. And then about 10 years ago, the building industry sort of landed in our lap and it became sort of our niche from there.
Okay, so there's a lot of confusion around marketing in the building industry, right? And so what I've noticed, and this is for my clients and stuff, that AI has tended to disrupt other industries. So private equity tends to be becoming the business industry. And one of the things I've noticed when we come on is private equity has more money than the average guy, if you know what I mean, right? And so they're spending a lot of money on Google ads and that kind of stuff. So, and I think they're going to push you out of business or buy you, to be a little facetious. So how does the smaller guy compete in an industry that's being, sort of merged with other businesses to try to stay competitive?
There's a lot of things that a small business can do to differentiate them from the big guys. One is building that local community relationship where everybody knows you. And a lot of small companies already kind of know intuitively to do that, but just expanding upon that more. There's things that you can do. Go out, do community events, be active on social media, make sure that you're following a bunch of other local pages and that you're boosting your Facebook posts so that more people in your area can actually see it. And those are ways that, that you can really reach that local market, because you're not looking for nationwide,
right?
Just like the big guys are. So, yeah.
So now, how does I hear AI is affecting things. People say it's better, it's worse. I know AI does a better job of matching, theoretically, the person with the service because they watch more stuff and do more things. And then I hear that Google is now making it so you sort of have to buy your way into AI, which is a Google thing. I can understand that. So how and where should you use AI in marketing these days?
There's a lot that you can do with AI in marketing. When it first launched really hard, a couple of years ago, it was kind of like, wait a minute, I don't know, this is, unknown. Are we going to let robots do everything for us? But the key when using AI is to use it as a starting point. And so you can use it in a lot of ways with marketing. So you can use it to help you write your social media captions, help you write some website copy for maybe an ad and things like that. But again, it has to be a starting point and not just taken out of the box. You have to have a human reviewing it, making sure that it matches your target market, that it says what you really want to say, that it's accurate, and things like that, because people can sniff AI. Like, I've used it so much over the last couple of years that I can sniff it out when I see other people using it out of the box.
And can AI tell if it's AI generated? Is it that good yet?
I would say so. I'm sure you could put it in and say, hey, tell me if AI, like there's certain things that there's like long dashes that AI always uses. So if you see something littered with that, that's probably ChatGPT. And there's other certain things. It's gotten better, I've seen over the years. It used to end everything with "in conclusion," It's very robotic.
Start every letter with "thank you for your time" or something. Was like
yeah. There's a lot of telltale, but yeah, it's gotten better, but it still is. So you have to look at it before it goes live.
So what does marketing look like for a $2 to $3 million company? How much money do they spend? They do it internally, externally. I mean, what's the best process for a small remodeling company or trades company to get out there and do an effective job? And how do they even know if they're doing a good job?
All right, so I'll try to tackle some of your questions there. I would say budget-wise, across the industry, it's usually recommended 1 to 3% of your overall gross revenue to be spent on marketing. So that would include things like your vehicle wraps, maybe you put a yard sign out, mailing, a mailer, the postage for those mailing, all of that is marketing, website, everything. So budget backwards kind of that way. Start, what is your gross overall revenue, and then go from there. Okay, now this is about where I should be budget wise. And then from that budget, then you got to determine, okay, I'm here, then what's the best things that I should be doing for that amount of money? And so definitely you need to have your website updated. Obviously, we're in a very digital age. Everyone's going to go to your website. So you got to make sure that is number one priority. That once you start doing marketing, look at your website, have someone professional look at your website, and make sure that it's attracting the market that you want it to be. And there's a lot of websites that come to me, and it might be a fine website. Maybe they went on to Wix and just kind of picked a template, but it's not doing what they want it to be doing. It's not attracting the right people. And so website's number one. Definitely social media, like I mentioned earlier. And then it depends on their target market. And again, on the budget, like what other things are we going to fill in? Are we going to do e-newsletters? Are we going to do mailers? Are we going to do Google ads? There's a lot of components that we could turn to depending, on their market and budget. So
how do you know if, like, let's say you've got a $3 million company, you're going to spend $100,000 on marketing, just off the top, that's 3 or 4%. How do you know where to spend it, what to spend it on? Because I think every community's got to be different, right? Whether you're in downtown New York or in the middle of, Mountain Home, Arkansas. I mean, it's obviously a different strategy.
Yeah.
So, and my guess is, in general, the owner of a construction company is not going to have that expertise.
Right. Yeah, so I always recommend, and whenever a company comes to us and says, hey, we want to potentially hire you to have, our ongoing marketing, and so what we do before we start doing anything is an initial phase of research and putting together a marketing plan for them. So I would say that would be step one, and that will help accomplish what you were just referring to. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out where that money should be spent. So, we've got this, and we go through a whole process. It's like a 1.5, 2 month process to interview them and put things together and put together our documents, usually like 30 to 40 pages long, saying this is who you are as a company. This is what your target market is. This is how we think we can reach them. Here's some unique ideas. This is how much we should be posting on social media. So that now you can have that game plan and move forward, because a lot of companies, in the building industry or not, a lot of small to medium companies just kind of fly by the seat of their pants with marketing. Just like, oh, I guess I'll do that magazine. I guess I'll do this, and there's no.
Unfortunately, sometimes they go with the best salesperson just because the guy called.
Right, that too. And, I've interacted with my share of real pushy, the salespeople for magazines and things. And they're like, oh, it's wonderful. This many people are going to see it. And
right. Never does any good. So what are some of the big mistakes you find? You've worked with a lot of contractors. What are some of the big mistakes you see them making that's costing them, they're wasting their marketing dollars?
Not tracking things. There is a certain level to marketing where it's hard to track, because we would call it, oh, that's for brand awareness. So let's say a billboard, right? Mm-hmm. How are we going to really track that? Because a lot of people might have seen your billboard, but that might have not been the primary thing that they use. Maybe they use Google search. And so if we say, how did you hear about us? They might say Google search. And so there is a level of marketing that we don't know exactly, is it from that? Is that actually working? But with everything else, try to track it as much as possible. So look at your Google Analytics, see, where are incoming links coming from, people clicking on other websites to get to you. And then one other way is that with print ads, try to use QR codes, unique QR codes for each different print marketing piece that you're doing. So you say, hey, this QR code for our door hangers is going to this secret landing page on the website just for the door hangers. And then this other one is from our vehicle wraps. And this other one is for this. And that way at the end of the year, you can say, oh, okay, that many people went here. Oh, we had nobody from this one. And this was that magazine we tried this year. So maybe we want to stop that one. So that's how I think a lot of people they're not really reviewing things or tracking things. So
when it comes to tracking, a lot of times I'm going to put marketing companies in three buckets. Just there's a marketing company that says it looks cool, we're going to win awards, you're amazing looking, and it's all about looking cool. There's a marketing company where they look at the numbers. You got 7 zillion followers, you got all these views, blah, blah, blah. There's a marketing company that says, well, either made you money or we didn't, right? So what box would you put yourself in, and how?
I would say we're definitely not in the let's win awards, and that is not the strategy at all. Sometimes the most simple website is going to be the most effective, never going to win an award, but it's going to convert sales. Yeah. So we try to fit into that box that you were saying, where here's the numbers. Yes, you have this many more followers on Facebook and, this many visits to the website and everything. But if that's not getting you sales, then what's the point? You're wasting money. So it has to be a constant conversation. And I like to, if at all possible, I try to meet with the salespeople on a regular basis. So we're having that back and forth conversation, and they're letting me know, hey, we're slow on this thing, or hey, this house hasn't sold, it's been sitting here. Can you do another social media post? Yes, let's get activity. Let's do more here with this. Because otherwise, what am I doing it for?
So now the other question I have is, you may be providing leads, right? And the salespeople go, well, not my fault, not quality leads. And you go, yeah, they're quality. So I'm sure you've had that happen. How involved do you get with what the closing ratio of the salespeople should be? It's the quality of the lead. They don't know what they're doing. They can't sell. They can't close. Do you guys get involved with that part at all?
We don't typically, and we try to get as much as we can. And that's a lot of times the breakdown is they don't always have that information or tracking it. And so it's really a lot of times pulling teeth to get the other side. Okay, what's happening with these? Or if we see something happening maybe wrong, delicately kind of approaching it we think maybe you guys could do some improvements here, in this area. We are not a sales company, but it's so hand in hand with marketing, sales and marketing. Right. So, there's things that we see that we're sometimes, we have to try to see what we can do to help guide or improve. So
would you say you sort of follow a part-time chief marketing officer role? I mean, you get more involved with the company and their values, and because the CMO is different than a marketing company, if you know what I mean. One is totally involved and one's not.
Yeah. So I tell people usually we would be like your remote marketing department. So it is almost like an arm of the company. We become so entrenched in them, I know them, and I sometimes jokingly say to one of my clients, I feel offended if someone on social media says a negative comment about, this community. I'm no, it isn't. I feel hurt. It's not just, I'm pushing out social media content. I'm an extension of their company. And so I feel that, that relationship. And we're a small company. It's not like we have, dozens and hundreds of that we're just feeding in and out. We know our clients.
I would say that gives you, because a lot of the marketing companies have 20 salespeople and they're 150 people, and you sort of get lost, I think.
Yeah.
And they run on numbers. So you have 5 or 6, you don't have 50, right? You have.
No, we're super small. We're about 5 of us. So,
okay, cool. So it's sort of like family in a way. You could You're good. So if people are interested in working with you and they're not happy, do you do a discovery call, an analysis to find out whether it's working or not working? Because some people don't even know what they don't know. So
Right.
how do you help with that?
Yeah, so typically what I do if somebody reaches out to me, email or fills out our contact form or LinkedIn, however they get in touch with me, then usually what I'll do is put together what I call a quick marketing review for them. And it's like a 5 to 10 page document that gives some tips that I've learned over the years of doing marketing in the building industry. I'm like, okay, this is a free tool. This is a free tool. This is another free tool you can use. And then there's a little section in there that's their specific recommendations from just like a quick review. So I'll say, hey, I looked at your website. There was one that I came across one time when I said, did you know that your website is being blocked from search engines right now? Well, we probably want to fix that like yesterday. So we look at just, a quick review on their website and social media, and then we'll meet for like an hour. And then at that point they can say, okay, yes, I do want to move forward with maybe a proposal, or that was great. And then we part ways, kind of thing.
Well, I guess the good news, they actually get to talk to you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm the face. I'm that initial door to our
And you're
company.
not AI, you're a real person, right?
Yeah, I'm real.
Okay. So they actually get to talk to you and gain from all your experience and find out whether something's working or not. I think that's great, because a lot of marketing companies, you talk to a sales guy who turns you over to a CSR, who turns you over to a search engine person, and you get lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be with you for your path along the way. And even, if you end up working with one of our other, employees and they're your main point person, I'm still going to be there. I'll meet with you once a month and through emails and all that kind of stuff. So,
Right. Okay. So, Mindy, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do it?
the easiest way would be to either reach out to me on LinkedIn as Mindy Lepp, or you can go to our website at lepdesign.com and fill out the contact form, and that'll shoot it straight to me, and then I can respond. And again, I'd be happy to sit down, like we said, for an hour and just chat and see how I can help in any way.
Great. Well, thanks, Mindy. It's a great idea. I mean, I like the fact that you're small, because a lot of the marketing companies, it's sort of like dealing with Verizon. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you get from person to person to person.
I know.
And you're on some CRM, they look you up and go, well, according to rule number 26, we can't talk to you. You got to talk to somebody else. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's a definite differentiator for you. Thanks for being here. And I think if you're not happy with your marketing, you should call Mindy.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it.